Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gaming Zone. I'm Chriz, aka the Mole. Joining me is Anastasia Lazerbeam,
Hello.
and today we're here to review the Pokemon Let's Go games. I got the Pikachu one. She also has the Pikachu one, I think.
Yes.
And there's the Eevee one, which I've played, and I know someone who's got the Eevee one. But yeah, we'll just dive right into it. Basically, it's a spiritual remastering. I'm going to call it, instead of a full remastering of Pokemon Yellow,
hmm
which it's pretty cool. They have the catch mechanic is basically Pokemon Go instead of regular Pokemon. Like, you don't battle them much.
Also, and if you're worried about and fighting being not being able to grind, which I know a lot of people do in Pokemon, you still can because you get tons of balls and you will never run out. You can still you can't fight the Pokemon, but you can catch like a million copies, and people will reward you for catching copies of Pokemon and things like that.
Yep,
So the mechanic's still there.
yep. You can run out of balls.
You can run a bowl. So I'm saying it's unlikely because every time you battle someone, they give you like 10 bowls, and a lot of items around you find like 15 bowls. Unless you're like one of those people they get like the 200 combo looking for shinies, like you probably won't run out.
I don't know about, because I don't know how far you've gotten. I've beaten the Pokemon League and stuff like that.
hmm
I ran out of near the end when I'm catching, because I got all three legendaries that are in the game.
hmm
Uh, I was running out of Ultra Balls because they kept getting out the ball all the time, and they cost a lot of money
hmm
in the game, and you had to decide, since you have to battle the legendaries before you do it, and you had to go through the what do you call it, Elite Four to do it. It became a choice of, do I want to buy Pokeballs or potions? But I will say the catching mechanic is weird. I'm not sure. Do you have any problems with it?
Um, it's kind of weird and it's hard to determine where exactly you want to get a great nice or like what is the last one ultimate or something like that. But
Yeah,
like
excellent.
excellent. Okay. Like you have to it's not like shaded out like okay, this half is nice, this half is this it's just specific like lines. Like this line because if you go too far than that line, you won't get anything, but if you go slightly farther, you'll get a excellent, you know?
Yep. Also, because it's done by motion, you have to be in the perfect spot when you slam it down, or it goes too right or too left way too
Yeah.
often, which is
I
annoying.
only do the handheld version, so I don't know if I have the problem. I just kind of hold it and aim it and then press A. So,
Yeah, what you have to do is you hold it like that, and you have to hold it up and then go boom, slam it down, and it throws a Pokeball, which is fine. I did that through nearly all the game. However, because it kept going left or right most of the time, or a few times, when I went against Mewtwo and I had the Master Ball, I'm like, I'm not fucking throwing a Master Ball too far right and be like, oh, goody, I wasted my Master Ball. So I swapped to handheld just for that one, because you just have to point the stick and press A, which
yeah.
makes it a lot easier. But and it was cool because, yes, my Master Ball caught Mewtwo, but I was like, I'm not going to waste a Master Ball.
Yeah.
And just like Pokemon Yellow, there is areas you can fully miss.
Yeah. One thing I will say different from Pokemon Yellow that I think is kind of a miss in here is that when in the Pokemon Yellow you got to click Pikachu and you got to see all his different facial animations. And while this Pikachu has some facial animations, it doesn't have as many as in like the original Pokemon Yellow, which I was like, why not? Why not include that? Why not make a complete string of facial animations? And I want like a little box when I click him to see what his face is like every time, you know? Like why
I,
that was super cute.
I'm going to say this one has more facial animations.
Really? Because even when I'm like in the handheld when he's on my shoulder and I'm petting him and stuff, he's mostly like or like
Yeah,
he doesn't have
when you're patting him, he doesn't really have the that stuff. But that wasn't even that wasn't in Yellow. But if you look in battle and stuff, like when he gets hurt, he gets upset and stuff. But when
he
you
can
do go to pet him, every now and again, he does do different facial animations. Example, one of the ones I had, he suddenly made his eyes go really tight. And said he's doing an impression of the Pokemon leader Brock, because he's like, "Oh," as he's doing a Brock face, and I'm like,
how
what the
can
hell
you
is wrong with you?
how can you see him? Most of the time when you're battling, you see his back unless you
Yeah,
can
but
rotate.
if he gets injured or something, he turns around and runs. Or if he's poisoned and they do attacks to him, you can see it as he gets hurt from their angle.
I can I don't know, I hardly ever can see him because I'm mostly staring at his back. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
like
Why would
when
you
they do
that
attack to
outside
you,
battle?
you're forced to look behind them.
Yeah, but why not include the outside of battle as well?
Like I just said, they do. When you go to pet him, sometimes he does change animations depending on what you're doing.
Petting
Like
them.
he'll do the Brock face. There's been times where he's been sad when I've seen him, excited,
When
really happy, drowsy, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool.
you're petting him.
Yes, when I'm petting him.
Mm.
When you pull him up, he's done that a few times, which I which I think that's cool. But there's also unique moves for Pikachu in this game.
Yeah.
Like when you speak to the person I showed you on the thing, the person you're meant to talk to, you get stuff like Zappy Zap, Fally Fall, Splishy Splash, and stuff to get cool new techniques.
But they're not very good. Like they're usually they're not like 100%. They're 100% accuracy, but their power level is like usually I don't know. It's like between like 30 and 50.
I don't know. Zappy Zap seems to be really cool, and I've killed so many Pokemon with that. Splashy Splash is handy because if I'm against a Pokemon that's weak to water, I use that one. Like I killed most of the Elite Four just using Pikachu's moves I got from him. Which I was like, oh, that's handy. Weirdly, Eevee gets more.
Huh?
The Eevee one has like an extra 3 or 4 moves that they can do.
I mean,
Which
we only can hold 4 moves, so like, what's the point?
because you can pick your favorites. That's the whole point of Pokemon. Where they're like, oh, they've learned. Do you want to change moves? Yes or no? So you can learn them and then quick and choose which one you want to replace and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like Eevee gets some dark ones and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like the fact Team Rocket's in the game as the actual Team Rocket from the anime. I think they're cool when you're bumping into them.
Yeah.
The Pokemon centers look cool. And yeah, now one thing that's different in this is what the moves are called that help you outside the battle.
The HMs.
Kind of. You know, like you used to get stuff like Surf and all that.
Yeah, but now
On,
everything's
on
Pikachu.
this one, they're called special abilities,
Secret attack,
and
I think.
they're like sky. Or was it like Sky Surfing, or whatever it's called?
Yeah, you get the balloons and like the baby chair.
That's it. Yeah, Sky Dash. They're basically fly, surf, move stuff, and all that. But Pikachu gets them.
Yeah. And they don't take up your moveset, which I did like, because like no one wants that in their attacks.
Nope. Now, one thing I will say which made me go, huh? With that a few times is they're trying to teach it to the Pokemon trainer, which they never do. And then they're like, what? A Pokemon wants to use this technique? What? How dare he? And I'm like, what, you mean like every game when he cuts stuff down and all that? What the hell's wrong with you? But, yeah, like I said, you have that. I like the fact you can make Pokemon follow you. And if they're big enough, when you release them out the ball, you can ride them while your Pikachu or Eevee's still with you.
I will say though, it's kind of a miss that you can't you specifically don't have a bike. If you want to go anywhere fast, you have to have a riding Pokemon. Because otherwise you're gonna be stuck to that really slow walking speed. Like I like having my Raichu and Pikachu out, so I don't like want to ride one. I just want to ride the bike and maybe have like the Raichu like I don't know running super fast behind me, or he can go back in his ball. But no, you have to have a riding Pokemon if you want to go faster.
Yep, you do. Which I can understand why people would be a little annoyed with that.
Mm.
However, there's enough big ones that and not all of them make you go faster.
Oh wow, you can ride slow. What's the point of that? I mean, I guess it's
Because
see
I
to
was
ride.
holding, because I was like that, hugging onto Snorlax's belly as he walks really slowly through places instead of Pikachu. It was funny, but like when I rode like Rapidash and Persian and stuff, they go really fast as you're galloping on the cat or the horse. You're like, oh, that's so cool. But yeah, some make you go really slow. Some are more of a hindrance than they are a help.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
But I'll admit, I used Snorlax way more than I should have, just because it was really funny. I only got rid of him near the end of the game when I got a Golduck and Mewtwo and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I've got better Pokemon than him now. We've got and swapped them out.
They also say you can get like Alolan versions of your Pokemon. In some centers, there is a woman dressed in black, and she will say, "Hey, I have a Pokemon that's kind of around your level, and you can swap it, and it'll swap your Pokemon with the Lohan version." I will say though, there are moves and they'll probably be slightly lower level than you, and also their moves will be the most basic, like AF like stuff. Like they were like, "Hey, like I was thinking my Raichu, I was like, I'll switch out my Raichu," but of course I saved beforehand because I want to check it out. So I did it. I swapped them, and while the Alohan Raichu is super cute, it's like 10 levels lower, and also the only move it has is was it Tackle, and then the rest are like Growl, Tail Whip, and something else. Like Tackle would
Oh
be.
yeah.
It was like, wow, your moves are terrible. I definitely don't want this trade. I'm sorry, but take your shitty Pokemon back. It looks cute, but it's all looks, no substance. No thanks.
Yep. What did you think about your rival in this game?
Oh, I love my rival. Okay, I preface this with I like my rival specifically because I named it after one of my friends I met over the internet, Flectum. So it was super funny because they my actual Flectum but let's go Eevee. So my rival, because I'm Pikachu, also has an Eevee. So that's why I named him that, because it's funny. It's kind of like it is him. so,
I'll admit, I named mine Gary just because I'm like, it's traditional. I was gonna name it something else, but I was like, no, the kids are probably gonna watch this. I don't want to name it that.
well, see, there's like there's the actual Gary in here, except his name is Blue.
There is, but his name's Blue, like you said.
Yeah.
Also, it's really funny. Did you laugh at the introduction to Professor Oak
Why?
when
What's
Blue introduced himself and he's like, "Oh yeah, and here's my grandson. Oh, what's his name?" And he just interrupts and goes, "That's never been funny, Granddad. No one laughs at this joke. My name, you know this." And he's like, "Okay, fine. Your name's Blue." And I'm like, "Oh, so this whole time, even if you name him, the grandpa knows his real name. He's just a dick to him as a running joke."
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, "Yes, that's brilliant. I love that." I loved some of the animations where you got animated scenes, like when you meet
I got
like
cutscene.
Zapdos, or you meet, or like helping Marowak or Cubone, I should say, stuff like that. It's really cool. They look really good.
The cutscenes are very nice.
And one thing I will say is, and I obviously I realized this early on, just like all Pokemon games, there's no. I'm not shocked that the Elite Four are the best Pokemon trainers in the world.
That's the point of the Elite Four.
Yeah, I'm not surprised though. When they talk about, oh, it's surprising that someone would dare challenge him, I'm like, yeah, it is, because I actually go out and I get Pokemon and I train and I fight. All your other Pokemon trainers stand in one spot and rotate slightly and just go, aha, I'm going to fight you, regardless of what their power level is. Like when you're going back through and like someone's like, haha, I see you. You're going to fight me now and I'm going to beat you. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake, you're on like the first city. I'm easily going to crush you here with my level 50s.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, that's why they don't do it. They're idiots. But I'm enjoying. Like I said, I love the game. I love what they did. I've also transferred Pokemon from Go, which you can do on your phone, to obviously to this one, and then played and caught them, which is cool.
You have to be in Fuchsia City to do it, just to let you know.
Yeah, you have to do it in one spot. Tell me you've done it
I
twice.
haven't got to Fuchsia City yet. I'm doing
Do it,
Leverkusen Sound.
when you do it, if you still got Go on your phone, do
I
it
did.
twice.
Why?
First time you do it, you get a mystery box given to you in Go.
Mm-hmm.
When you use the mystery box, it summons next to you Moltron, the new Pokemon that looked like what Ditto did during that event.
Okay.
And when you catch him in Go, you can then transfer him into Pokemon Let's Go to get him a second time.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I will admit that's one slight flaw with this game. You can transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go to this main game.
So essentially, you can have all the Pokemon right there.
You can do once you get there. I'll admit I just transferred a few and got them, and I didn't realise a few of the ones I got aren't in this version. They're in the Eevee one, so I don't need the Eevee edition in order to get all the Pokemon, or even know anyone who has it. Thus, they could have just done this version, and everyone would have been happy. But there is differences with what Eevee can do, I suppose.
Yeah. Interesting that you can't evolve any of the Pokemon. Like
Yep.
your core Pokemon.
No, you can't evolve your starters, which
Kind of, I don't know. For Eevee being the evolution Pokemon, like that's kind of like wow, that was your one thing, and they kind of took it away from you.
yeah, that's the one thing, which is weird because I'll admit Pikachu I never like to evolve unless I get multiple, so I was happy with that. But yeah, Eevee, it's like their one thing is evolving. Don't even make that stuff. But I do have a Raichu now.
I love my Pikachu and Raichu, and I named them Thor and Loki.
Yeah, because I caught an extra Pikachu.
Mhm.
Then I caught a different sized one when they do the glowy stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, cool. And I kept the rarer one as Pikachu and just turned the other one in when I got a Thunderstone into Raichu. And I'm like, yeah, that'll do.
I love Raichu.
One thing I didn't do, but I've seen people on the internet do, I didn't change Pikachu's hair.
I changed his hair. Oh my god, my Pikachu's
I didn't know how to.
Oh, here's what you have to do. It's very odd, and I had to look it up. You have to do very, very specific motions, and it's very sensitive. Oh, it's like I had to do it like several times. It's
Oh, do
yeah,
you have to do motions to his hair to
yeah.
change?
You have to like either do this or 5 fingers and like this. It's like things you wouldn't normally think to do.
Oh, okay. Because it never told me to do that to change. I don't think in the game. So I've just been petting him until he
Let me
smiled.
see my incredibly dapper Pikachu's hair.
Nice.
I
I didn't need one anyway because mine's in a hat.
don't like any of the hats that they had there. It just looks weird.
I like the hats. Every costume I got, Pikachu matched.
I wish there was more costumes for your actual character. But they're just kind of a color swap of whatever you already have, except for hats. You can like, those are different.
There's mine.
Oh, he's got flowers.
Yep. Has yours found you anything yet?
Yeah, he's found me like berries and like balls and
Oh,
candies.
okay, cool. Yours seems to be finding you good stuff. Mine keeps finding me like a marble and oh, here's some leaves that you'll never use on anything. And I'm like, oh, okay. Luckily, it's also bad. Luckily, I didn't. I'd already played Pokemon Yellow, so I knew some of the stuff. If that makes sense, like I could remember some of the stuff. Like one of the places, I when I stop Team Rocket, I get a fossil,
Mhm.
but it doesn't tell you that you will be able to use the fossil later, and you can sell it. But I didn't because I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I can use that later. When I got to the place, I got to pop the fossil into the machine and turn it into a Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I would have been pissed if I'd sold that. And I'll admit, some of the stuff I kept just because I'm like, I'm probably going to need this later. But I didn't. Mega Evolutions are in the game.
Yes. Yes, they are.
I'm not sure. I don't think you've got any yet, have you?
I have not.
Because I think you get them when you're on your 6th badge. When you go and meet Professor Oak, he tells you, "Oh yeah, if you're gonna go to the 7th gym, you're gonna need these." And he gives you the stuff and the ones to turn all 3 of the original starters, their main forms, into what do you call it? Into
Maybe
Mega Evolution, except for Charizard, who gets 2.
two.
Because remember, he had 2 in X and Y, so they put in his X and Y ones.
Oh, I don't even remember that. I didn't even use any of them. So they're just still my box. I'm like, oh, that's fine. Bye.
Uh, did you never use them in X and Y?
No, I never.
Yeah.
I mean, not X
Oh,
and Y, but in this one, they gave me the Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, and I never used any of them.
Oh, you mean with the Pokemon themselves, not the
Yeah,
Mega Evolutions?
yeah.
I'll admit, I used Bulbasaur and I've evolved him to his maximum. He's really handy for me with his sleep and some of his other stuff. He's come in handy. But I'll also admit his main purpose is, oh, Pikachu's fated. Quick, go out there and distract the enemy with sleep and stuff while I revive the shit out of Pikachu. Okay, thank you.
Ha!
That's his only purpose is helping, waiting till Pikachu comes. But yeah, how would you rate? But overall, how would you rate this game?
I'm enjoying it. I give it like an 8 out of 10.
That's cool. Yeah. Any final? I mean, what's your final thoughts and stuff?
I really enjoy it. It's super fun. I thought I wouldn't enjoy the Pokemon Go elements as much as I did. It got me to re-download and open up Pokemon Go again. So congratulations on that. Because otherwise, I opened it up and I haven't played it in like 2 years, and I have no idea what's going on now. There's like research and stuff, and who knows what else. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, they've been evolving that for
Yeah,
ages.
yeah. It's like, what is all of this? I don't even know. I have to like Google Pokemon Go Wiki or something to find out what the hell this stuff is. Um, but
Uh,
yeah.
it is worth noting as well. You can only transfer Pokemon that are in this game to this game.
Oh yeah, obviously you can't transfer like freaking like gold or silver later generations.
Yeah, which I know people would probably, because some people probably think, oh, can you bring in the later ones? You can't, which is a shame because I want my Togepi. He's the only one later I'd bring in as Togepi. But overall, I'm gonna give it a thumb up, maybe 2 thumbs up, just because basically the only flaws with it for me, the motion controls can be a little finicky. I will mention I don't like the element that you can just port them from Go and never need to meet someone who's got another version or have another version, because I kind of think that, you know what I mean, it kind of undoes some of the work of what the Pokemon versions do.
Yeah.
One other positive I'll say is I love the fact there's 2 player.
Yes, that's super fun. I've done
And
that.
yeah, and if you do it, if you say you use the motion controls,
Yes, I have when I was doing the 2 player briefly.
yeah, the multiplayer with the 2 player and you having to use motion is super handy because you're both throwing them, and if you're
Mhm.
both throwing balls, you double the likelihood it's going to catch them.
I will say one more thing. For battling, when you're battling someone and you use like standard rules, it puts all your Pokemon at level 50. But and just because they're level 50 doesn't mean it keeps all of their skills and stats exactly the same. So you basically have what is essentially a level 50 Pokemon skin on a level 30 or 20 Pokemon. Because like and it kind of comes down to their IVs and their stats. So even though like I wouldn't recommend people just battling anybody, you should battle someone at your own level, like actual level, and it is in the game.
That
Um,
makes sense.
yeah.
I would be curious if it works the other way around, because I've got a load over 50, including a level 70, because that's what Mewtwo is when you go to fight him. But I would be curious if I go. Will people go? Oh, it's just a level 50 Mewtwo. Boom, level 70.
See, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure the level 50 thing only affects HP bar, and that's it. You're essentially whatever your level is with more or more or less HP.
That makes sense. Yeah, I will warn you
Like
with
I was
with Mewtwo, as people know, save before you face him.
yes, yeah.
Only because he's level 70. At the time I could get to him, I was a lot less. I was like 50 something, 58. Which means my strategy had to rely solely on the fact I'd found a load of max revives and I had other revives. My sole strategy involved Pikachu damage the hell out of him over and over again using that thunder, or was it Zappy Zap, just because he got to go first. Then whenever he would dodge it and then do the doom and do his psychic move and it one-shotted every one of my Pokemon, I'd bring out another one as a human shield just while I revived Pikachu and brought him back, and then put him to sleep as Venusaur, and then leech seeded him, so he kept coming back to me. But that was because he was a pain to beat because he's level 70. But yeah, I found the two birds and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
All right,
But
yeah.
yeah, like I said, it's fun. People should check it out. I'm gonna be curious. I am curious because they're doing a new Pokemon game next year. Will this one have the ability to transfer Pokemon from it to the other one?
I don't know. They're saying the only thing I've heard from the new one is that every single Pokemon except Farfetch will have an evolution, like pre and post.
That makes sense.
But like it's like funny, except for Farfetch. Not that I'm specifically asking for like them, but like Farfetch is like special somehow. Like no evolutions for him. He's goddamn perfect. Do not touch that bird. Like
Unless unless I can't remember one. Did Ditto ever get an evolution?
no, but supposedly, according to this new one, everyone's going to get one except for Farfetch. Is I heard on the ports. So I don't know how you evolved Ditto or how you pre-evolved Ditto, but like it's just a smaller puddle. Like I don't know how that's gonna work. He's a
Will,
bigger puddle at the end.
will I still be able to use his evolution for sacks?
You can always use them, even the smaller, sugar ones for sex.
Let's face it. Early on in the red, blue, and stuff, Ditto was used for. Oh, I want to mimic that Pokemon and steal its moves. It was cool. Later on, it became okay. I want to breed this Pokemon. Go on, whore, do your job. That's what Ditto's used for now. Like you'll just see Ditto be like, I don't want to have sex anymore. To which you have to then use the motion control to pimp slap him. Yeah, this was our review of the Pokemon Let's Go games. They're pretty good. You should check it out. And it's
Yeah.
nostalgic if you've played the Pokemon Yellow, but if you're new to the games too, like I've seen little kids playing it and they just love it, and it's a great starting point while being nostalgic. It's a fun little game.
Yeah,
But
it's super fun and really cute.
yep, check it out today.
All right.